Before sneakers became a billion-dollar empire. Before brands ruled culture and logos defined status. There was a pair of shoes that carried not just feet, but entire dreams. This shoe isn't just leather and thread. It's the soil of America's childhood. It's the heartbeat of families. It's history itself, captured in every scuff, every crease, every mile. Generations grew up wearing them. Generations survived with them. And somehow, this very pair still exists. Silent. Forgotten. But alive. The story begins in the late 1700s. Before cities stretched into the sky. Before highways connected states. When every step was hard, and every mile was survival. A father, by candlelight, bent over rough leather. He stitched by hand, his fingers cracked from work, his eyes heavy with exhaustion. Every stitch was an act of love. Every nail pressed into the sole was a promise, that his child would not walk barefoot on burning dirt, or freeze on winter's stone, cold floors. The shoes were heavy, but they were hope. Hope stitched in thread. Hope hammered into wood and leather. The boy wore them at sunrise, trudging into fields that smelled of soil and sweat. He wore them in storms that beat against his back, mud clinging with every step. He wore them until nightfall, when he placed them carefully by the door. Cracked. Stained. But unbroken. Shoes, in those days, weren't just shoes. They were lifelines. They weren't replaced, they were repaired. And so when the boy became a man, the shoes, fragile, yet alive, were passed on. Brother to brother. Father to son. As if the family itself was walking inside them. The 1800s arrived, and the shoes kept moving. They walked beside wagons heading west. They pressed into dirt roads that stretched toward endless horizons. They carried farmers chasing land, children chasing sunlight, mothers carrying newborns wrapped in cloth. Every scratch became a story. Every scuff became a memory. The soles now held not just footsteps, but miles of America's growing dream. Then came the Civil War. A young soldier laced them tight, though the leather was thinning. The shoes carried him through mud-soaked camps, through nights when hunger hollowed his stomach, through days when cannon fire shook the ground beneath him. The shoes bore witness to whispered prayers in darkness. To trembling hands writing letters home. To tears shed for friends buried far from home. When the soldier finally returned, scarred but alive, the shoes returned too. Worn nearly to nothing. But still intact. And his family, broken by loss but grateful for survival, could not throw them away. Because these weren't just shoes anymore. They were proof of endurance. Proof of sacrifice. Proof that even when the world tore itself apart, something stitched by love could hold on. The world shifted. The shoes, fragile and patched, found themselves tucked in trunks, waiting in silence. In the early 1900s, a young immigrant family discovered them. The leather was stiff. The laces frayed. But they stitched them again. They slipped them on. And the shoes began walking once more. Through city streets humming with factories. Through smoke-filled skies and crowded apartments. They carried a father to his first job, 12 hours of back-breaking work, sweat dripping into the cracks of the leather. Every night, he walked home, his steps heavy, his shoes tired, but his heart alive with hope. The Great Depression came. And again, the shoes were worn, this time by a boy walking miles to school with holes patched in the soles. His mother whispered, "These shoes carried your grandfather when he had nothing. They will carry you too." And they did. Through hunger. Through cold. Through days when the family had nothing but dignity to hold on to. Then came World War II. Another son. Another journey. Once again, the shoes were laced by trembling hands. Once again, they marched into rain, soaked mud, into nights that felt endless. The shoes had seen too much. And yet, like their owners, they survived. Battered. Broken. But undefeated. By the 1980s, the world had changed. Air Jordans ruled the streets. Adidas, Nike, Reebok, sneakers became culture. Children wanted new. Shiny. Fresh. But in one family's attic sat a relic. This old pair of shoes. Unwanted. Dust-covered. But undefeated. And somehow, after more than 2 centuries, they still exist. The same leather stitched in the 1700s. The same soles that carried farmers, soldiers, workers, and dreamers. Today, they sit tucked away in a forgotten attic. Silent. Fragile. Alive, but unseen. If you hold them, you can feel it. The heat of summer dirt burning beneath them. The frozen floors they crossed in winter. The weight of soldiers' steps in war. The exhaustion of workers chasing bread. The laughter of children running through streets long gone. They are cracked. They are helpless. They are alive, yet dead. But they are not empty. They carry something more powerful than fashion. More powerful than trends. They carry proof. Proof that people walked this earth before us. That they dreamed, suffered, loved, and survived. Maybe shoes don't just carry us. Maybe, we carry them too. They hold the dirt of our childhood streets. The echoes of our laughter. The weight of our dreams. They are proof that we were here. So the next time you see an old object, a letter, a watch, a pair of shoes, don't throw it away. Don't dismiss it as junk. Because these aren't just objects. They are storytellers. Silent witnesses of our lives. And maybe, just maybe, they're waiting for us to remember them. What about you? Do you have something old, hidden in a box, or tucked in an attic, that carries your family's story? If you do, keep it. Share it. Because sometimes, the smallest things remind us of the biggest truth. That we were here.